Rick the mycologist, the Asbury Circle.
Set you free, but that's not always true. What it did for me is open up my wound. Memories would bleed out on the floor for everyone to see, and that don't feel so good when that tree is drooping in that bed storm, crashing through the roof door in that bed storm. I paid so dearly for every bad drawn. Now it's up to us. Let's clean it up. Na na na, na na na, na
What's up, everybody? It's me again, Rick Dahrouge, Asbury Circle, and this is titled "Baby in the Bathwater." We all know what that means. Another way of using that term would be careful lest in casting out your demons, you cast out the best thing that's in you. And so basically, you guys heard my story, the early story, you know, and when I was able to unshackle myself from this depression, I'm coming out fucking as a superhero now, and I'm feeling my power. I'm feeling my ability, the musical abilities I was able to manifest. You know, when the self reveals something to itself, it starts to get excited about what it's capable of doing. And there was one thing that was there that I could have done without. So now I'm no longer in the dumps, but I have this anger issue, you know? And so let's just say after a whole chapter is played out in my life, right? And this happened to my buddy who passed away. And now you're in another phase. These are all transitional things. And in between, everything's hunky-dory, because that's all, most of life is when everything's running smoothly. But I talk about the transitory ones, because those are the forks in the road. And if I can go back to 29, 30, I would make 2 changes, but you can't go. You don't get do-overs. But I had a false belief that 30 was old. And if I knew that at 45 I'd still feel like $1,000,000, you know, I know it ain't gonna last forever, I just would have looked at everything differently. My whole timeline, my time urgency would have been different, because I was already time urgent. Like, if you're going to do this shit, you got to do it by 25. And then you push it back and push it back. And then, you know, I had to take a break. I had to step back. So, like I said before, in learning to say, hey man, I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to start to understand what this anger shit is all about. But don't give your power away. Don't lose confidence in those things that really support you and support your well-being. So you could spend a lot of time, like I did myself and my buddy, and after a failure, step back from it, look at it, make some adjustments, just like a fighter does. This is why I like the fighting, looking at life as a fighter does. Look, I fought. I fought well, but I lost. Where did I fuck up? Let's step back. Let's work on the holes in my game, and let's maybe try this thing again instead of just looking at how everything fell to pieces. And I think many of us do this. So I think I think life, the way of the warrior would be looking at life much like a fight, which would be, this is a fight to the end. I got some bad habits, just behavioral habits. I want to change this behavior, but I don't want to throw away all this other shit too. You know what I mean? So the last round that I had with my buddies was basically a situation where I was being more observant. I was laying back, expected to participate a little less so that others can feel like they're contributing. And I realized that, you know what? I'm throwing my power away. I'm useless like this. I'm actually useless standing back and waiting for someone to initiate. And so that's pretty much like one of my powers is, if there's nothing popping, I'm gonna initiate. So that's what was really needed the last time around. I threw the baby out with the bathwater, which is, I know there was some stuff I had to change about myself, and in doing so, I just pretty much threw all the good shit with it and left myself with very little. My life was in shambles. So when you hear, if you care about what other people think of you, you will become the biggest bitch on the planet. If you ever heard that before, that's true. You use other people to reflect, all right, listen to them, understand them, but at a certain point, you got to be like, look, this is mine. You could only change so much. And then if you feel like you made the proper adjustments and the shit still ain't working out, it doesn't matter whether it's a relationship, relationships, people, this, that, third. If you make the proper adjustments, then it's time for you to move on and do what you have to do to get through this life. Because no matter what you do, even if it's the best intentions, even if it's, something that is so selfless and benevolent towards somebody else, it's going to be wrong to somebody. So no matter what you do, somebody's going to find something wrong with it, and we can't go through life like that. So that's basically where I'm going to end that, is step back, look at what happened during the fight, look over the tape, work on the holes in your game, get back into the fight, because it's a fight to the end. All right? This is a message from your boy, a public service announcement from your boy Ricky D. Peace. We're going to get into some good practices next, because I want to get a shirt. Instead of choice is good on this side, I want to get practice, because through practice is the only way you change any behavior. It takes practice. And I'm long overdue. So I'll see you next episode. Later.